YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-round mock draft. We're going through all the teams in draft order, so we did the teams before the Bucs, but today we got the Bucs. I'm going to go over my fits, realistic fits, but it's also a grade A draft. What would be a grade A draft in my opinion. So, right before we get into this Bucs mock, check out our stuff. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on in the description. Twitter, always post on there. Instagram, constantly got posts. And Patreon, where you can get extra content. Link in the description for all those fan-voted mock draft going on the Twitter. You guys go vote. Video done or made once the voting is done. So, Bucs, first pick. This is where it gets tough. The first four teams were very easy. This is where it gets tough because I kind of have to, what would be the best pick in my opinion, but realistic that they could do? You can go a number of things here. And this may, there's probably some fans that get bored by this, but you got to get excited here. Jawaan Taylor from Florida. Instantly start at right tackle. I know they got Dotson, not the future, though. Jawaan Taylor, he's top 5 on my big board. He's good. He's really, really good. And this would be a great pick in my opinion. Keep Winston protected. He was pressured a lot, really, last year, more than you think. So I think this is more of a need than people realize. Some people like Jonah Williams. Some people like, people like Montez Sweat here. The Bucs are supposed to be switching to a 3-4 with Todd Bowles, but I think Sweat's better. He can play both. I think he's better in a 4-3. I think he's better with the hand in the dirt, which can be done in either defense. But I think it's more of a fit in a 4-3. Rashawn Gary's an option, a little too early in my opinion. And Devin White's definitely an option too. So that's really what I consider here was Jawaan Taylor and Devin White. So that's what it came down to. Better on my board is Jawaan Taylor. I think he's going to be a heck of a right tackle. You watch him versus Josh Allen, a top prospect in this draft. I have him going 4th right now, like a lot of people do at the moment. You watch him, Josh Allen switches sides. When he's on Florida's left side, he dominates. When he's on right side, a whole different story. It's because Jawaan Taylor's there. He's the difference. So it's a lineman to get excited about. Moving on though, second round, I got him taking Nasir Adderley from Delaware. I think they'll like him. I think Bowles will like him. How much he values the safety position coming from the Jets. They drafted Jamal Adams and Marcus May in the same draft. Nasir Adderley is a playmaker. He really can do it all, and he could be a late round 1. This is a grade A draft, like I said, but it's very possible he's there in this pick right here. Maybe because he played the weaker competition, maybe a tad bit undersized, but he's a playmaker. They'll like him. They need to upgrade their safety position pretty badly, so they'll grab him there. I don't think they need corner. They need a corner, but I don't think they need it as bad as people think. They drafted very well last year. They could use another guy. They drafted very well at corner last year. I like Carlton Davis a lot. They could use a running back pretty badly too, much like the Raiders situation. Kind of both those teams get mocked Josh Jacobs a lot, and fans are probably tired of that. And at the same time, I think it's realistic that teams could wait. They're not valuing the running back position that high anymore unless it's a guy that can, catch the ball at an elite level and get yards after the catch at the same time. So I think teams can wait in this scenario, have them waiting a little bit, get a little different look. Next pick, I got him taking Christian Miller, outside linebacker from Bama. He would play outside linebacker in what's supposed to be their 3-4 defense. Him opposite of Jason Pierre-Paul. Noah Spence can thrive in this new defense too, so maybe Miller doesn't start right away, but they definitely need a rotation. They definitely need a rotation switching defense because you don't know if Pierre-Paul will be as good in the 3-4 as he was in the 4-3 if that's what they indeed do. So you're going to need a guy like Miller. Potentially can go second round, but he's a little raw, needs a little work. He doesn't have a whole bunch of experience at a 3-4 outside linebacker spot. They could actually use him in multiple ways. They can slide him in possibly too to a regular linebacker spot. So that's the good thing about him. Next pick, I got them going with Terry McLaurin, who could be a 3rd round pick. Best case here, 4th round pick. He's not a super flashy guy. I was actually surprised by his 40. He's pretty fast, but he's not super flashy. He just gets open, catches the ball, pretty solid run after catch. I think the Buccaneers will like him. I think that's a good Humphreys and Deshaun Jackson replacement. Him with Mike Evans and Godwin, that would be a scary trio there. I think they'll like him a lot. Makes a lot of sense here for the Bucs in round 4. Round 5, I finally have him taking a running back, Travion Williams from Texas A&M. I like him a lot on this offense. I think it makes a lot of sense. Him and Ronald Jones. I'm not counting out Ronald Jones either, by the way. He can definitely start. He could definitely, you can't count that guy out yet. you know. So I like Travion Williams for their offense. Again, they could take a running back earlier. You know, they can go Josh Jacobs. He's sitting there early second round. They can go with the guy, maybe Justice Hill a little earlier. But I like Travion Williams for them in the 5th round. It makes a lot of sense. And I actually had them going with 2 Texas A&M guys back to back, which is interesting. I got them going Kingsley Keke, Texas A&M. They're switching to a 3-4. I think he fits perfectly at the end spot in their 3-4. I think him, Gerald McCoy, and then you got Vita Vea as nose tackle. That could be the future. Maybe McCoy's not part of the future, so they may have to use another one in the future to take his spot. But Keke makes a lot of sense in that defense, a lot of sense at that end spot. Could be a sleeper down here. Could potentially go round 5. But next pick, this is the last pick for the Bucs here. This looking like a good draft in my opinion. I got him going Ryan Pulley, Arkansas corner. Yeah, they definitely could use another corner. I don't think they need it as bad as people think, and they do need the other positions that I had them going with earlier, I think, more. Pulley, to me, was probably a round 5 guy. You know, he did not test well at all at the combine. Almost looked out of shape to me. He looked a little awkward. Maybe that's just me. But Pulley's got a good tape. He's very aggressive. He's not afraid to get physical. You know, he's got good tape here. He could go, maybe, like I said, he's possibly round 5, but I don't think so anymore. I think 6, 7. I think the Bucs will like him. They can slide him in the slot if they want to, or he can stay outside. But I do like Carlton Davis, MJ Stewart, and they have Hargraves for the slot for another year here, so, or potentially more. So I think it's a solid draft. This is what they need to do here. Again, they could grab a running back early. One thing I did forget to mention, I am taking Christian Miller with the 3rd round pick for outside linebacker for pass rush. They will like Brian Burns. But they picked too early in that 1st round spot. So maybe they trade back. The Buccaneers are a team to look out for possibly trading back. But with Juwan Taylor, Devin White, take one of those guys most likely. But maybe they trade back up for a guy like Brian Burns. I think they have too many needs. But I think they will like Brian Burns. That's my point. But I don't have them going with them because where they pick. So that's going to do it for the Bucs. We're going to get through all these teams eventually. Some days I won't be able to get one of these out. Some days we'll have one. Some days we'll have 2. So we have plenty of other videos, though, at the same time. We got to do regular mock drafts, which I enjoy doing. I know you guys enjoy them. We have free agency coverage like crazy here. We're going to kind of grade, recap free agency maybe next week and this upcoming week, I should say. Who's the winners, the losers. We got plenty to get to here, and the draft's almost here. Can't wait for that. We got a lot to get to. We're going to be live during the draft, too. I can't wait for that. But subscriber goal is at 20K. Please help us get there by clicking that button. Clicking the notification button would help as well because we have, kind of random videos, sometimes non-scheduled, and live streams. And clicking the like button on any video will be much appreciated as well. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for the support. It's been great. Goodbye.